Medellin. When you hear that name, you're probably picturing one thing: all mansions, dodgy deals, and one bloke with a moustache. A story that's been turned into entertainment. And if you think you know this place because you've seen the TV shows, you're wrong. Because the real story of Medellin isn't about how one man tried to tear it all down. It's about how millions of people fought to get their city back. So I'm here to find out what it's like to explore that incredible transformation today. For me, the story of modern Medellin starts here, in El Poblado. This is the modern side of the city. It's where the money is, and where most international visitors, myself included, tend to stay. It feels pretty calm and orderly, a world away from its old reputation. But before you get to the fun stuff, you have to understand a bit of the past. And that story begins right here, on a quiet patch of green that was once the site of the Monaco building, the main base for Escobar's whole operation. For decades after a bomb blast, the scarred building just stood there, a bit of a grim tourist attraction, until a few years ago when the city tore it down and built this instead. The Inflexion Memorial Park. It's not about him, it's about its victims. The wall here is pierced with over 46,000 holes, one for every life officially lost to the violence. It's a place that really makes you think. It's where the city chose to close one chapter and start another. But there's a whole other industry here, one that's still obsessed with the ghost of that one man. I went to the site of La Catedral. This was Escobar's personal prison. I mean, you can hardly call it a prison. It was a fortress resort that he built for himself high in the hills after cutting a deal with the government. From up here, he could literally look down on the city he controlled. The whole setup was a bit of a joke. The final stop on this grim tour of Medellin is Escobar's grave. It's a bit of a strange experience. And you've just seen the memorial park for his victims, then you see flowers on his grave. It's a bit of a weird contrast. It felt like the TV show version of history. But it's not the real story of the city today, not even close. You need to see what's driving the city forward. And that journey starts on the metro. The first thing you notice is how ridiculously clean and orderly the stations and the trains are. It's the absolute pride of the city. The stations feel a bit like galleries. There's some cracking street art around and a replica of a Botero painting. More on him later. But the most brilliant part of the whole system is this: the Metrocable. A public transport network of cable cars connecting the poorest hillside communities with the rest of the city. It isn't a tourist attraction, it was a lifeline that halved the commute times and physically stitched the city back together. It is, without a doubt, one of the smartest things the city's done for itself. One of the best examples of Medellin's transformation can be found in the area Comuna 13. The second you step off the bus, the energy here hits you. First thing I saw was a crew of breakdancers right in the street. It wasn't just for fun, this is their new economy. The community chose to build a reputation around rap, hip-hop, street art. You need to know that this area has a dark past. Because of its location, it was a battleground for gangs and paramilitaries. But from that history, they built something incredible. The city's installed these huge outdoor escalators, turning a really tough 35-minute climb into a 6-minute ride. As you glide up, you're surrounded by the art that kickstarted their comeback. It gave Comuna 13 a global reputation for creativity, not conflict. You'll find rappers and other street performers telling their stories. Every mural, every performance is a reason for someone to visit, and that directly supports the local people. It's a living symbol of defiance, and you can really feel the energy as you walk around. Far from being a no-go zone for tourists, the locals want visitors. This is their new economy. This is how they're going to improve life for their families. After the organised creativity of Comuna 13, plunging into downtown Medellin is a bit of a different experience. It's pretty busy, loud, and feels like a chaotic centre of the city. Right in the middle of it all is Plaza Botero. The plaza is an open-air gallery for Medellin's most famous artist, Fernando Botero. His style as well, it's big. He described it as exploring volume, not fat people. He donated all of this to the city. And people really do get involved with them. Apparently, touching it brings good luck. The whole place is a really cool mix of amazing art and busy street life. When it comes to where to base yourself, you're spoiled for choice. There's El Poblado, which we saw at the start. It's the polished international bit of the city, with leafy green streets and a really global feel.
All the streets here are nuts and just covered in these tropical plants. It feels like you're in a botanical garden. Look, it's just a pavement. The hairdressers and you say, "What do you want?" "This, please."
El Poblado is also home to these massive modern shopping centres, like the Santa Fe Mall. I popped in for a look, and honestly you could be anywhere in the world, and it shows how much Medellin has become a proper global city, with all the normal stuff that comes with it. If you want a bit more of a local feel, then head to Laureles. It's not a place for big sights, it's just a place for being. The streets are flatter, lined with trees, and it's got a much more chilled residential vibe. After all the exploring, you realise what an incredible place this is to just hang out in. The food scene is fantastic. The whole city just comes alive when the sun goes down. I was staying at the #98 hotel, and the view from its rooftop bar at night was pretty cool. There's plenty of variety in the nightlife as well. If trendy rooftop bars aren't your thing, you can catch a drag show at Chiquita. Or have dinner watching a live band. So Medellin has a past you can't ignore, and a story that's been turned into entertainment for TV. But I found that the reality of travelling here today is much better than the myth. It's about seeing a city that's always looking forward. It's the energy of the artists in Comuna 13, how proud the people are of their metro, and a nightlife that's as fun as anywhere else I've been. It's a city that chose to build escalators instead of walls, and that's a story worth seeing for yourself. If you want to see more content like this, please give this video a like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, it really helps. Cheers, see you soon.